Hey everyone, it is me, Tanya, founder of the T&G Designs Group Limited. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. Now, aside from all I'm about to share with you, I want to make sure that you remember this. I want you to remember that how you show up matters. And there are 3 key branding moves that change the way people see you. So what that actually means is the impression that you're leaving is how you're going to be perceived. So show up in a way that always stands true to your standards and beliefs and is also congruent to what your brand stands for. So with that in mind, stick around to the very end of this video as well, because I show you how to make sure that with those 3 moves in mind, you keep the momentum going. And I'm going to share with you some key principles that you should tap into, especially when it comes to making those better connections with your ideal audience. Now, why the ideal audience? Well, for obvious reasons. Those are the guys that you actually want to be working with, not the average old Joe. And obviously, like I shared with you in my previous video, if you're working with everybody, you're not working with anybody. So make sure you literally focus in on who those people are, but do so in a way that allows you to build on the connection with who they are, but also allows your reputation to stand true to what it should be. And remember this, folks, as well. You are more than what you see. And what that means is 9 times out of 10, a lot of experts would just tap on this little surface level of the service-based businesses that they have and what it is they do. And yeah, that's it. However, if you just dig a little bit deeper and you get to understand exactly how you help others, but also exactly who those right people are and why it's them, you start working differently. You start showing up with more certainty, and what certainty brings is clarity for your audience as well. And with that clarity comes more engagement, comes more better results that you are actually looking for. So with that in mind, make sure you do these key things that I'm going to be sharing with you. Also, make sure that you go ahead and subscribe to this channel, because I share content just like this for all those specific reasons. And without further ado, folks, let's just get stuck into this. So as I shared with you, we're going to be talking about 3 branding moves that change the way people see you. But before we get stuck into that, you've got to know these key things, okay? So you've got to know first and foremost that yes, you need to be tapping into your VPV, aka your brand power of 3, but also you need to be aware of the 3-7-27 rule. Now, what that rule actually taps into is the idea of judgment, impressions, as well as interactions. Now, let's just get into what each and every one of those mean, especially when it comes to those 3 branding moves that I now want to talk to you about, okay? So let's look at judgment by way of brand judgment. When I'm talking about brand judgment, now typically the 3 element, right, is literally 3 seconds of judgment. So when it comes to your brand, what that means is you have about 3 seconds before people actually judge what your brand is to them. Whatever that thing is, whatever that face value image is, people are already judging it, and that's done within about 3 seconds. So what you want to do is consistently show up as who it is that you are, with the look that you have by way of visuals, by way of messaging, by way of fonts. All of those things play a huge role within your brand judgment element. So you've got to make sure that even within those 3 seconds, people get to know that even from those 3 seconds, people can see that, oh, I need to pay attention here. I need to just tap into this just a little bit more. And if we're talking about content, for example, on social media platforms, right? People need to see that within those 3 seconds, the reason why they need to just stop and read on a little bit more. So I'm sure you've heard about that scroll stopping moment. Well, that's it. Understanding how you can make sure that you stop people from scrolling on happens at this next point. And that's now your brand alignment. Now, your brand alignment, by way of messaging, by way of how you're showing up, by way of what you're representing at face value, right, taps into also what the 7 element of that rule is that I spoke to you about. And that's the impressions. Now, with impressions, I'm talking about the messaging, once again, that you are sharing, the way that you are showing up. There's about 7 levels of impressions that allow your audience to actually start seeing you more frequently, you more in a way or in a light that keeps addressing key things that your brand is about. And it's all about that alignment element. If you're saying the right message and actually hitting the nail on the head as to what their problems are, and also saying what it is or how it is they can move from one state to the next, what that journey looks like. It's all about inclusion, and more importantly, it's all about connection. how are you connecting with them so that brand alignment can actually happen. And also, at the time of me creating this video, I'm actually pulling together a brand authority scorecard. And what happens within that scorecard is essentially a quiz that allows all of my audience to really hit the nail on the head as to understand where they actually stand within that brand authority scale. There's a lot of people out here, and as experts especially, who presume that with their brand, everything is all honky-dory, everything is absolutely fine, they are showing up as they should be, but when they take this scorecard, they're going to be noticing a couple of holes. Now, what this scorecard is also designed to do is to help you to understand that with those holes that you're now discovering, you're going to understand how to fix them. And one of the questions that I'm going to be asking within that scorecard is, do people remember you after they've seen your brand? And I want to ask that question to you now. Do people remember you after they've seen your brand? Now, regardless of the size of business that you have or the way that you feel that you are big or maybe small, there is no size in this regard. It's all about how you are showing up. It's all about how you're showing up in the right kind of a way that is congruent to your standards and beliefs, but also represents who it is that you are, why it is that you're doing it, but allowing your audience to now see themselves in you. When they see themselves in you, they have an alignment. They can connect with you. And with those alignments and connections, builds the idea of reputation and builds the idea of recognition, meaning that they understand you now. They get to go away and keep remembering you. So those are the key things that you want to make sure that you are always paying attention to. And now I've kind of alluded to what this last element is, but it's the idea of brand reputation. With brand reputation in mind, you know, I've always spoken about the idea of repetition equals reputation, okay? Repetition equals reputation, and with brand reputation in mind specifically, this is where we address that number 27 in the rule that I spoke about previously. Essentially, the 27 refers to the amount of interactions that people need to have in order to be able to commit, engage, or even want to speak to you. It's those 27 interactions that really make a difference to the way how people see you. And with these moves in mind, with your brand reputation in mind, this is how you ensure that interaction happens. So constantly you are showing up, consistently you are showing up, but showing up in a way, once again, that is always going to be congruent to your standards and your beliefs. When you start misaligning, when you start disconnecting, you start allowing your audience to also push back and to also move on and to keep scrolling past, if we're talking about social media, right? You don't want that to happen. You want to make sure that you are constantly drawing awareness to what it is that you are doing, but also how it is that you can help them specifically. Now remember, you are not addressing everybody, you are only addressing your audience specifically. So remember who they are. Know that I've done a video with regards to stop guessing your audience and know who they are. Because if you don't, well, once again, you're going to be creating a disconnect by addressing people that have no reason being on your page or have no reason watching what it is that you're doing. They're not going to understand why they need to make a move. Know who your audience is, speak the right language to them, but more so specifically address what their problems are, what they are currently facing, and how it is that you can actually help them by way of experiences, by way of understanding or empathizing whatever emotion they are also feeling. Help them to know and understand that you get that feeling, and also you get how to move forward from that feeling. Because remember, as a service-based business owner or entrepreneur, however you identify, you are here to help someone to move. Help someone to move forwards, not backwards, by addressing these key things. By making sure with your brand reputation, you are standing true to your values, true to your vision, true to your purpose, but also with the impressions in mind and the interactions in mind, and also that level of judgment in mind. You are doing so in a way that allows them, meaning your audience and your people, to know that you are the right fit for them. So I'm going to leave it there, folks. Please make sure you go ahead and watch this video again, because I'm sure there's going to be a few points that you might have missed out on. So go back, watch this video again, make your notes, but more specifically, go ahead and share this with other like-minded entrepreneurs and service-based business owners as well, because You guys need to know, and I want to make sure that you are always constantly reminded that yes, you are an example of a way forwards, but also more importantly, you are more than what you see. When you address these key things, especially when it comes to understanding what these branding moves are, you start showing up in a way that delivers certainty, that delivers clarity, that delivers better connections with the audience that you actually want to be working with. And with that in mind as well, make sure you go ahead and click on the first link that's underneath this particular video, because like I shared with you, I share this specific information on content just like this, but I want to make sure that things keep moving, because I'm not all about just being here on this video and that's it. No, I want to make sure that you are actually taking action. And to take action means that you got to keep making that move forwards, right? So when you click on the link that's below this particular video, yes, you'll be asked for a few details, but I'm going to share with you some key principles. These key principles will allow you to make sure that you understand what your branding moves specifically are to you, who it is that you should be connecting with by way of making sure that your VPV is on point and is congruent to your standards and your beliefs, but also how you can make sure that you are actually showing up, promoting your business, talking about what it is that you're doing in a light and in a way that doesn't put ego first, but it puts value first always, but also allows your audience to know and understand that you are the right fit for them. So I'm going to leave it there, folks. Make sure you go ahead and do that. Like, subscribe to this channel, and I will see you on the other side.